Well, obviously we're excited to be advancing to the national championship match against a great team in BYU. You know, we haven't had a chance to see them in person except for last night, and clearly they're a very big physical team, great team. But you know, our guys have played well in the last couple of months, and I think it's going to be a fun match. I think it's going to be hopefully a good volleyball match. And you know, if we can stay true to ourselves in terms of what's been working for us the last couple of months, I think we'll be okay. You know, it's nice that we're in a surrounding that's familiar to us. I think hopefully there'll be a good fan base for Ohio State, and that'll help keep our energy level up. But you know, I think it's going to be fun. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it.
Blake, Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block. BYU leading the nation in attack percentage. What's the biggest challenge that they present to a defense?
I think their just ability. Sorry, I lost my voice last night, but just their ability to hit over the block in some instances. I think that a big focus point for us would be service pressure, just keeping them out of system and keeping them off the net as much as possible. Makes it more manageable for us to turn points and transition. So I think that's probably the biggest key for us going forward.
Here, follow up on that. I'd love to get your thoughts. You know, you hear teams often talk about playing BYU, having to serve aggressively. As a server, when you go back in, knowing that you have to serve aggressively, is that difficult at all to kind of wrap your mind around, or does that put additional pressure on you back at the service line?
Honestly, it doesn't. I think it's easier to go back there and just know that I have free reign to hit the ball. When I go back there and feel like I have to be tentative, it's a little harder, honestly. So if I can go and just pick a guy, hit that guy, and at the pace that I feel comfortable hitting it, then it honestly makes things easier.
Coach, is there a particular player looking at BYU that you guys are thinking about maybe targeting serving-wise, or?
You know, I think, Vinny, like you said last night, did we give Zerzan any direction on the match point? No. Hit it in, hit it as hard as you can. If some guy gets in the way, that's their problem. You know, we're not a real target-oriented team. We're more about the pace, the velocity, and maintaining a pressure on a team. So I think it's guys, do what you do best. Hit the serve that is in your wheelhouse, in your comfort zone, and hopefully we'll have enough pace to put those guys on their heels. But I don't think it's about picking out one guy, and unless it's with the float serve, which you can be a little more precise with that. But with the spin servers, it's any one of 900 square feet is a good target.
Yeah. And Coach, obviously 2011, you guys were here championship match. What did you learn from that championship experience that's helping you get ready for this upcoming championship match?
Well, I think what we learned, none of these kids were here, but I think as a staff, what we learned is that you can't all of a sudden reinvent yourself or do anything different from Thursday to Saturday. You have to continue to be who you are, and preach to your kids that if we do that, and if we do that well enough and long enough over time, we're going to be fine. Talked to them a little bit. We just finished a short video session, and the first set last night against UCLA was, to me, reminiscent of our first set 5 years ago against Santa Barbara, just a different skill set. You know, we had trouble killing the ball last night in the first set. I think we had 5 kills on 20-some swings. In the first set against Santa Barbara, we had 9 service errors. We couldn't serve it in the court. But the thing that was neat with both teams is that 2011 team, they walked down to the other end and they went, hey, this isn't a problem. As soon as we figure out our serving, we're in great shape. And I think we walked down to the other end and said, as soon as we can start killing the ball, we're in great shape. And we win the next 2 sets. I mean, we killed the ball, and our service pressure stayed on UCLA and those sorts of things. So, you know, that's the neat thing about this group, is they have a pretty short memory and they just move on to the next thing, and don't let what has transpired in the past stay in their minds and interrupt their thought process about going forward.
Blake, Peter, obviously both this season you guys have mostly played 2 matches in a week. Saturday will be your 3rd match in a span of about 5 days. What are you guys doing to prepare for that? Are you doing anything differently just to rest your bodies or anything? And how different is it playing 3 matches in a week compared to 2?
I honestly don't think it's too bad. We have lots of downtime here. It's not like we're in school and having to walk to classes every day, walk back and forth, go to lift, all those things. So while here, it's been pretty relaxed. We get up, we do film, we eat as a team, stuff like that. So it's honestly more relaxing than anything, and we don't mind having a 3rd match. I think it's kind of nice.
Can we hold on 1 second, please? Because we had some people that thought it was going to start at 12:15. Just let them get settled. Thanks. All right, guys, go ahead. Thank you.
Blake, I want to ask you, this is your freshman year. What's been the biggest adjustment for you playing high school club volleyball to the college game?
Just, I would say the physicality. I'm the youngest one out there. So just, it's been a huge privilege playing with guys like Peter and guys like Nick and Miles, just because they bring just a level of talent that's beyond belief at sometimes, as you saw last night with Nick. But just like I said, physicality is the huge difference. Putting a lot of time over the summer in the weight room and trying to get stronger is the biggest factor, I think, in my game, just because at this point everyone is talented, everyone is athletic to some degree, but if you can outwork them, then you'll have the upper hand, in my opinion.
All right, so give us a number when you're in the weight room. What's your most impressive lift that you're able to do? How many pounds?
Oh God, squat would probably be like 260, I think, 260, which is not that impressive, but I'm kind of tall, so short people have an easier time at that.
Blake, you should have lied. Nobody's going to know. How are they going to justify
425. I wish, but no, that's definitely the biggest focus point at the end of this season. Definitely getting back in the gym and just working harder than I did last summer, because it's been a heck of a ride. So gotta keep it going.
Hey Pete, Dave Forney, the ABCA. After such an emotional match, first off, how did you sleep last night? And how do you move on and not try to think too much about what you just did and move on to the championship match?
Well, sleeping took a while. Passed out at 1:30 or so last night. And honestly, it's kind of, every point's like that, especially as like a serving sub or anyone on the court. Honestly, each point you kind of have to forget about the last one. And whether you did well or did badly, if you did badly, you got to let it go. If you did well, use it to do well in the next one. And so that's kind of what we have to do with this match, is use UCLA and the momentum we got from that against BYU tomorrow.
So is that easier said than done?
Yes, but it still can be done, so it's got to work towards it.
Brandon Gurry from the Desert News. Do you think it helps you guys being in that moment, at crucial moments where you had to really perform at a high level? It was do or die. Do you think that helps you going to the championship match?
I think so. I think that builds a level of confidence that you can't really just have. It kind of just gives it to you after proving that you can do that to yourselves, not even to anyone else, but just to ourselves as a team. And so it's kind of something you just have to take and use with you.
Jay Drew from the Salt Lake Tribune. Blake, if this were football, Ohio State would be the heavy favorite, obviously, but it's not. In the volleyball world, how is this match viewed? Are these two really even teams, or is there an underdog, or how do you guys perceive this matchup?
I would say we're fairly even. I would say, if anything, we might be a little bit of the underdog just because how seeding goes, if you want to look at it that way. I know that we kind of came in with a chip on our shoulder in the last match with UCLA, giving them the ranking that they got, and what happened with that and all. But you know, just come in and play. It's another game. You know, just got to come in and perform and prepare. You know, so.
Over the course of the season, do you even keep your eye on what's going on out west as far as the better teams and who's, you know, matching your record and that sort of thing?
I would say yes. Obviously, it's more relevant to when we come and play those people like we did on our trip out west. So Long Beach and UCI. That's where I would say the good competition is as well in terms of conferences. But yeah, I wouldn't say we don't look at them at all. We always keep an eye on them.
Just to follow up on that, because BYU has such a TV presence, all their matches on BYU TV, was there ever a match during the regular season? I know Friday, Saturday, you probably have better things to do if you're not playing, but was there ever a match where you guys would just tune in and watch BYU or play?
Watch them play?
Yeah, watch them play.
We just watch them on Volumetrics. We never watched them live during the season on BYU TV or anything like that.
Coach, looking at tonight, what's kind of the game plan for your team? Any inspirational movies you're showing them? Inspirational speeches you got? Anything along those lines?
No, I don't think so, Vinny. I think we're going to go out and have a team meal together, another video session, try to learn as much as we can in a short amount of time, try to give the guys plenty of opportunity to stay off their feet and rest and be as prepared physically as they can be for tomorrow. And try not to dwell on what's ahead of us. It's what we've talked about and what we've wanted to do. It's 24 to 36 hours away, and just get through it and then go play.
Coach, can you kind of characterize your team and just what the season's been and how you're playing just going into this championship match? What's come together for you guys?
Yeah, it's been surprising, a pleasant surprise, obviously. We kind of felt like when we put this group together 3 years ago with Christy and Miles and Driss and some of those pieces that are the core group right now, the juniors, that we could get them to this level if we did the kinds of things that we were talking about and add some pieces. It's maybe arrived a little bit earlier than we thought, but it's here nonetheless, and they've done a great job. Again, the thing that's really outstanding to me is how they're as mature as they are at dealing with adversity and just moving forward and moving past it. It was the fifth set last night was eerily similar to the fifth set at Long Beach, where we were down 4-1 right out of the gate, and Long Beach had all the momentum. And we were down 8-5 at the turn, I think, against UCLA last night, and a couple of match points, and they just kept playing. And I don't know if they get real. I know they know the situation, and I know they know the score, but I don't believe they add any more pressure to themselves at that point in time. They just keep playing, and that's a pretty neat thing for a bunch of guys that haven't been in this situation, in this tournament. I watched Coach Sparrow's press conference last night, and even though he's got some great players, you don't know how to deal with this until you're in it. And that was the one advantage that 2011 team had that this one doesn't. But I don't think that bothers this group. I don't think they have worried about it. They've just kind of turned the page and moved on to the next match, the next opponent. And I expect that's what they'll do tomorrow night.
Any final questions for Coach?
In matching up with BYU, how do you feel your team matches up? BYU's known as a big hitting team. You guys are as well. Let's talk about the matchup.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you go lineup by lineup and you start to talk about the size across the net, BYU's a bigger team, physically bigger. That doesn't necessarily make them better at certain skills. I think some of their positives in their skill departments, we can potentially offset with the areas that we're stronger. And we really feel like if we can serve the ball the way we've served it all year long and get guys to really bring some service pressure, that we can negate some of the things that BYU is going to try to do. It might work, it might not, but that's been our kind of the thing that we've hung our hat on, and it's paid off quite well. So that's going to be important. I think how well we can defend and dig some balls in transition is going to be important. So I don't think that we feel outmanned. I don't think that because my wife goes, "Boy, that number 13 can jump out of the gym." Yeah, Marianne, I've watched him for 5 years. I coached a kid a couple years ago. He jumps well. But you can't get caught up in how well a guy jumps, because eventually he's got to spike the ball, and you know, maybe we touch it, maybe we dig it, those sorts of things. So, you know, if you look past those things and just say, hey, deal with the ball and play the ball, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.